Hey, it's Dorleen, and today I'm working on a card. I'm going to be doing some sponging and some masking. I'm using washi tape right now to mask an area. I want this card to be a little open in the middle because I'm going to be putting a sentiment there. So I'm using the washi tape, which I thought would do a really good job for masking the area. I inked the stamp. I'm going to be doing it this direction on the top and then again on the bottom the same direction. So I used another strip of washi tape because I wanted to cover the stamping that I had already done. But you can see here when I pulled the washi off, it took pieces of the paper. So that was a fail. Moved that aside, grabbed another piece of cardstock, and now I'm going to be using these Post-it note pads or Post-it notes. And as an afterthought, when I was stamping the first card, I realized I probably should have sponged first. So that's what I'm doing now. I bought those paddle brushes on Amazon, pretty inexpensive. This is the first time I'm using them. And I'm using two different colors of shades of blue. Lighter is what I started with, and now I'm starting with a little bit darker and really trying to get the edges as well with that. I know it's really splotchy, but that's how I want it. It's kind of just like a background sky, if you will, so it's fine with me. Using the same stamp and this little tool that I'm using now. I purchased that to use with my Misty, but I realize it can work just as well with an acrylic block. So I got a really good solid image with that, so I was really happy. And if you noticed, I used a clean Post-it note to kind of use my hands on top of the card so I wouldn't get any ink, because don't you hate that when you move something and you realize or you forget that you have ink all over your fingers and then you get it on your card. So I masked the area that I just sponged and stamped, also allowing that 3/4 of an inch area, because again, that's where I'm going to be putting the sentiment. Kind of did the same thing I did before, starting with the lighter blue, and then I'll end with the darker. As I'm looking at this, I probably should have done a little bit more lighter blue, but it turned out fine. Like I said, this isn't really part of the image. It's more of the background sky kind of image. So once I do that and I, end up with something I like, I go ahead and stamp the image again. So you'll notice as I'm stamping this, and even though I'm putting a lot of pressure, using the extra padding underneath, etc., when I pull it off, I don't really get a good image. Probably should have used my Misty, but I wasn't going to start again. So I changed my original plans or what I thought was going on with this card, and I'm just going to go with it. So just hang in there with me and you can see. So kind of just showing you, when you mess up, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not usable. So hope this encourages you to keep on going when you feel like you messed up and there is a way out of it. If you're not already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And also check out my blog post of this card, and it'll show you the challenge blog that I created this card for. It'll also list the products that I used and any other information, measurements, things like that. All that will be down in the information box. And again, I hope this encourages you to, when you think you messed up, just encourage you to continue with your cards. Now, again, this isn't what I originally planned, but I do end up liking it. So this color right here, this orange color, I really like the combination of blue and orange, and even like a purple and orange. I'm just really loving orange in general this year, which is weird. But so the stamp set also has just some single flower stamps, and that's what I do here. I sponge the paper, stamp the floral image, and then I'm using different size punches to punch out the flowers, so they'll be more highlighted on the card. And you'll see me do that 2 more times, so I have 3 of the circles total. As I'm going through this, and after I looked at the card, I probably should have put one of them on a dimensional adhesive just to pop it up a little bit, but it's fine and I love it. So again, please be sure to click on over to my blog, check out the final product, and make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. I do have a goal for myself that I post 2 videos a week, and at least one of those videos is scrapbook related, and then the next one is whatever it is I'm doing in my craft room, which is called the Command Center, which is also the name of my blog. So this is a challenge that I'm following from a challenge site, and will just be added in my card box, which I do take to different places to sell. I call them kind of like a pop-up sale. When my card box gets full, I bring them out and then people buy cards and then I make more. So with the addition of these circles, I'm just using a Nuvo glue, a wet glue, because I wanted to make sure that I have them in the places I want them to be. Once I adhere all these orange circles or flowered circles, it doesn't completely cover the bad stamping, but it doesn't make the bad stamping as noticeable. And I'm trimming this down because this original piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and so I trim it down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just using my guillotine cutter to do that. And then once I do that, you'll see that I take a fine point pen, and I thought I would try to draw in some of those missing like leaves, but I did the first one and it actually turned out okay. I'm okay with it, but it also made me think, yeah, I didn't want to take a chance at this point. I think it looks fine, even though, again, it doesn't cover up completely the oops places, but it does it enough to where it's not the focal image. I hope that's making sense. I found these sequins right on my desk, probably from a different project. So I just grabbed some blue ones out and I'm scattering them here and there to add some sparkle to the card. That's never a bad thing. And then once I do that, I will add it to a white 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, folded in half, so 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 standard card base. Again, using liquid adhesive to adhere it. Oh, I forgot, I used black ink to just ink the edges. I think that just gave it a little bit more too, a little more And that's pretty much the card. So I do hope you like it. And like I said before, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And I will see you soon. Bye.